folks, Chuck. I wanted to share my thoughts with y'all real quick. You know what, y'all? A couple of days ago, I was up in the grocery store, and there was a young so-called black woman, and she had about 3 kids up in the store. And y'all know how kids are. They kind of like going through the store, they touching on stuff, they picking things up. And so there was a situation where one of the kids, they got something off the shelf, and as they were moving on out of the aisle, the kid just dropped the item or whatever. And so there was an older so-called black woman that came up behind them, and she picked the item up, and she asked the mother, was this something that she was gonna put in the cart? And the mother was just like, nah, they don't need it. Instead of telling the kid to turn back around and pick the item up and put it back in its place. Okay? This is why a lot of these bras out here, they need children like they need holes in their head. Okay? A lot of these children are surrounded by these women to make them feel like they a queen mama or something. But when you see little habits like that, man, it suggests that, like I said, they need children like they need holes in their head. Now, why am I making a big issue about this? Because, man, when you go to the majority of our communities, we have a serious trash problem. You dig? The trash problem in our communities is off the chain. And when you look at little certain situations like that, that's one of the reasons why. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so-called black folks, outside of their yard, anything go. And it just shows how individualism plagued our community. And some black folks, it goes on right in their yard, in their house. Serious trash problem. I was on Facebook some time ago, and I was in a food group, and this food group was a trip because they had so-called black folks in there laughing about how they could get away with pouring old grease in other people's yards instead of disposing of it the right way. That's trifling, man. It shows how savage our community has become, and we don't even recognize it, okay? Because just speaking on the trashy community, when you go to people's communities, right, and you see that it's trash all everywhere, that's a reflection of the people, okay, and what's going on within their communities. And man, how we get down, we heavy on it. A lot of us remember it from childhood. We ride down the street, we see people, we in the car with certain people, just throw this stuff out of the window. But the catch is, you got to be in the so-called black community, because y'all know these Negroes, whether they getting out work, they coming from a business district, running through suburban neighborhoods, or they just happen to be over there, or they stay in a suburban neighborhood, they will not throw that trash out. They will make sure that they get to a destination and dispose of it properly. Same thing for a lot of niggas out here. Don't miss garbage day. Because if you miss garbage day, these niggas is going to get the bag, and they're going to literally go somewhere, turn the block, and just dump it there. And that is a serious problem, man. And when you look at the little stuff like that, like us not teaching our children to clean up, that's where this stuff starts. Because I said this before, man, little stuff like that, that's one of the easiest ways you can train your children. A lot of so-called black folks sit around and cry and complain about what another person that don't look like you, is not from your culture or anything, worried about what they teaching your kids. Meanwhile, when you have them in your possession, they kind of are allowed to be heathens. Okay? That's just sickening, man. And just I'm going to end this. When we talk about so-called black folks growing up, and then a lot of them, they get in successful positions, and we talk about they don't come back and give back. These are one of the reasons why, man. Okay? We don't advertise to the children as kids why they should value the community that they come from. Okay? And so when they get older, obviously they're not going to give a damn about the community that they come from. Meanwhile, they're going to make the greatest effort to make sure that other places where they are guests are going to look nice and neat and tidy, so that those people can get all the credit for that. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, man. Y'all comment below. We got to do our part, man. Easiest thing to do is make sure you put your trash in the right place. All right? Comment below, like this information, hit the sub button in the bell. We drop this shit y'all like. It's your folks Shaka, the Urban Philosopher. I'm out. 300.